You guys smell that? I think that's fear. Yep, it is.
Fear. The
Board of Supervisors.
is right with it.
There must be something happening down in Maricopa because we got 40% of the Board of Supervisors giving us one of these for the past 2 days in a row. Let's smell what they're cooking up, shall we? Maricopa County announced this week that it will comply with the Secretary of State's direction and replace the tabulation equipment that was subpoenaed by the Arizona Senate Republican leadership and provided to an uncertified contractor. Uncertified contractor, nice jab, Jack. This follows the Department of Homeland Security's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, stating that the equipment the Senate took from the county must never be used in any future election. Counties are in the business of running elections according to the laws written by the state legislature. Yet, Senate Republican leadership continues to ignore the law and suggest it doesn't apply to them when it comes to procurement, public records, and accounting for dollars spent for public purpose. Shouldn't have gone there, Jack. Do you really want to go down that continuing to ignore the law road? Probably not the best strategy, Mr. Chairman. Senate Republican leadership continues to complain that the county would not allow the circus into our secure election facility. I mean, Jack, that's what you literally did. They apparently know so little about the scope of the work of their contractor that they think the act at the Coliseum would fit into a building a fraction of the size. This act they're trying to perform at the Coliseum. They don't even know the scope of their contractor's work. You're making fun of them. What are you, 12? The contractor for the Senate audit is also a known election conspiracy theorist who reportedly appears in a new movie to outline his partisan beliefs. Here it comes again, their character assassinations. Hey, would somebody please take that broken record off the player? It's driving me crazy. No person affiliated with the audit is in any position to lecture the board about election security, accountability, or honesty. Release the report and be prepared to defend it. That's why when the Senate requested routers, you just handed them right over, right? That's why the databases that were deleted that you said weren't deleted, that were actually deleted, were forensically recovered, right? And I'm guessing that's also why over the course of this process, you've held multiple emergency meetings with the rest of your board members, correct? Let me guess, you're going to character assassinate and discredit my source of information. So I guess I'm just making all that stuff up, right? That didn't happen. Let's move on to your buddy Steve. The legislative session thankfully came to a close Wednesday, and yet the fraud it started by the Senate Republican leadership lives on. To what end? To the truth's end, Steve. Nobody needed to crack open expensive tabulation machines to know the election in Maricopa was free and fair, run by professionals with decades of knowledge and high degree of training. Well, hey, if that's the case, then you didn't have to reject these Senate subpoenas after all. And if you were so confident in the process, I guess you didn't have to transfer those boxes to a warehouse without the Senate approval. Nobody needed to pretend partisan volunteers can do a better job than machines when it comes to counting dots on a piece of paper. Nobody needed to flash paper ballots with black lights or photograph microscopic fibers. Nobody needs to look at this stuff. Nobody needs to look into any information that millions of people have questions about. It's just dots on a paper, guys. Come on. So I asked President Fan, Senator Townsend, and others in their caucus who pretend their fraud is about gathering vital insight to admit the opportunity to change election laws in 2020 is over. And the fraudit should sin die along with the legislative session. Okay, I gotta hand it to him. That line's pretty good. These two, along with Katie Hobbs, have been all over the news. AZ Central, local NBC affiliates, CNN, MSNBC, you name it, they've been on it. And it's been the same story since day one. But guess what, boys? It wasn't the Senate that demanded these questions get answered. It was the Arizona people. Have a good 4th. And don't stress out so much. It was a free and fair election. You got nothing to worry about. Oh, and if you haven't seen my interview with Candace Taylor yet that's been put over on Locals, let me say this with the most conviction I can muster. You're gonna want to see it.